Hot Top Sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's Hot Top Sports, baby.
Let's get it. Let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to High Top Sports. Happy Wednesday morning. We're back in the saddle, rocking the morning show. I miss you. Happy to have you here. Smash the like button, subscribe. The Florida Gators claim the SEC title. They were sharing it up until last night. Now they own it on their own. Todd Golden, the fastest ever to 100 wins. We're rolling. We're cruising. We got our Gator insider John joining us to talk about what can this Florida team do headed into March. Cody the Prof joins us today. And boys and girls, buckle up. He's a little grumpy. He got throttled, had his first big-time workout yesterday. He may or may not be here with us right now. He may be unconscious. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Cody the Prof, John Austin. Good morning, boys. Good morning. Good to see you. Cody, how are we feeling, big guy? How are we feeling?
I went and walked just and rolled out a little bit, and then I did 20 minutes in the sauna, 5 minutes in the Arctic room, 20 minutes in the sauna, 5 minutes in the Arctic room, 20 minutes in the sauna, 5 minutes in the Arctic room. So
I was like, are you having a seizure? You just repeat?
No,
bro, I was like,
no.
He's losing it. He's losing it.
Just trying to do a little, trying to stay moving, trying to do a little recovery. Yeah, I got torched yesterday. Okay,
Let's say not to cut you off, but we got John's got limited time, so let's save the 40 for after John. I didn't know you were gonna give us the full breakdown. I'm just kidding. John, good to see you, my man. Big time basketball stuff. Glad to have you on. Big time win last night against Mississippi State as they keep on rolling.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride. I mean, watching us just beat the crap out of Arkansas the other day. It was a fun time on the stream with y'all, especially seeing Todd kind of let Calipari know who runs this league now. And then last night, I mean, Mississippi State, we started off a little rocky and then just torched them. And I think this team I think we're gearing up, boys. I think this could be another natty. I think we're looking at back-to-back right now. I don't know. I've tried to talk myself out of it and be like, hey, we won a natty last year. Calm down. I can't calm down anymore. I'm out of calm. I'm all the way bought in. We're winning it all again this year. That's my take.
Oh man, the juices are flowing. We'll run through these little graphics really quickly, and then you have some that you sent me that we're gonna go over here. There we sit at the top 25, AP top 25. Right now, look, it's kind of crazy to think how this thing's unfolded in the last couple of weeks since we've been doing the show with you, John. When we started, I think when you hopped on at least, we were like 11th, 13th, and it was like a 3 seed. We were our first like big bracket review or bracketology. We were the 3 seed. Like it was like, yeah. And then like 2 seed was like possible. Maybe we get into a 2 seed. All of a sudden, the boys are rolling. Things are clicking. Bang, bang, bada, boom. Now we're like, hey, we're the best team in the country. What's up with it? We'll give us the 1 seed. And now here we are. For me, I don't know how this thing's going to shake out. UConn, in my opinion, if they don't win their conference championship in the tournament, right? And Florida does, you got to give it to the dogs, right? You got to give it to the boys. If UConn doesn't close it out, right? You have to.
That's basically what I've been hearing with the bracketology and stuff is that we're basically the 1 seed in waiting. And if any of those top, I think Arizona and Duke, we're probably not going to be able to surpass them because one, I think Duke is going to run straight through the ACC. They are just they're on a tear right now too. Like Duke kind of scares me a little bit, especially with the referee help that they seem to get in those big games like they did against Michigan. But UConn is, I think, the fallout where like I know we lost to UConn head to head, and I think that should matter at a certain point. But the Big East this year is ass. Like they're somehow worse than the SEC. They have 3 top 50 teams in I think it's Ken Palm. They have 3 top 50 teams. It's literally Villanova is kind of like I think they're in the 30s or 40s, and then St. John's and UConn. So their schedule hasn't been super impressive. And obviously, Florida is a different team than the team that lost to UConn. Our guards have figured it out. Boogie's playing a lot better. Xavier's playing a lot better. Clavjar off the bench. Isaiah Brown. Like we're an entirely different team. And I think that the bracket guys realize that. And I think they know that, yes, head-to-head should matter, but head-to-head in November and December, it doesn't carry the same weight as it does, a couple weeks back. These are different teams now. Basketball is just very cyclical like that.
I mean, you see the odds here, Michigan plus 325, which is wild. I think plus 3 in March is asinine, but whatever. Duke plus 350, Arizona plus 425, and then Florida plus 900. Those are great odds right now. Just given the landscape of where we sit, what we look like, who we are. I want to get it. I don't want to miss these graphics. So let's dive into these, and then we'll kind of open up for discussion because I know you're limited, and I want to go over these things and let you discuss them. And then I know Cody's got some thoughts too, but let's take a look at these really quick. Go ahead and run with it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you look at these graphs. I saw them. I feel I don't know. I feel like a little bit of a nerd diving into some of these things. But I mean, you look at this graphic and like we have the one of the highest adjusted offensive ratings. Obviously, we're not as good as like an Illinois or Arizona Duke. But then you look at the the team rebounds, turnovers forced, opponent rebounds. Like that just to me means like our offensive rating is not that great compared to some of these better teams, but the rebounds and the things that we talked about in March that you can control, those tangible things that make us a wagon to deal with going down the stretch. I mean, we're like, you look at that graph, we're poised to make a run. And I just think that it's most sustainable. I mean, I was looking at some of the stats from last year versus this year. And so last year, we outshot teams on twos by 10%. We were one of the top teams in the country in doing that. This year, we outshoot teams by 14% on twos, which again bodes very well in March. Last year, we out-rebounded teams by 9 per game. This year, it was 14, and that was before the Arkansas and Mississippi State game. It's probably closer to 15 or 16 now. So the fact that Chinyelu and Condon and Tommy Houck, who didn't even play last night, and we still just whooped up on Mississippi State, which, I mean, Mississippi State's terrible. Let's just put it out there. Like, yeah, we beat them. We beat them the way that we should beat them on senior night. And so I think this team, like we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, how is this team better than last year's team? And I think the stats are kind of showing us yes.
I swear there was some handsome ginger on this show that came on here and said something like that like a month and a half ago, and I got absolutely throttled for it. But hey, we neither here nor there. That guy, I'm sure that guy's having a good time somewhere on a beach somewhere hanging out. But look, in my eyes, the way I look at this is that your best 3 teams, you're seeing them. It's Arizona, Duke, and Florida. I obviously I think for Illinois they have that ability to score, but you can tell like if you can't rebound, you're going to get throttled in March Madness. We know that. Michigan is kind of interesting, right? I thought that they were kind of a little bit bigger for them not to be higher up in that turnover and rebounding category, more of that scoring. I found intriguing because when I look at this graph, I look at it as Arizona and Florida are your 2 top dogs, in my opinion, based on that. There, let's love the graphs, and look, these are all 3 different graphs. I think, and would you agree, John? Looking at 3 different ways of how this team can win, and Florida's in top echelon for all of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a smart gambler, if that's the route you want to go with this, I mean, I'm putting heavy money on Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and Florida. I think one of those 4 teams will win the national title. I think you can book it now. You can quote me. You can save this video that one of those 4 teams will win the national title. Illinois is not winning the national title. Purdue has been kind of in a free fall the last couple of weeks. A team that I've been high on, and I've watched them like 3 times in the last couple of weeks, that has that dog in them, and also just Tom Izzo being Tom Izzo. Michigan State is heating up at the right time, and it scares me a little bit. Like not scares me overall where I think Florida couldn't beat them, but I think Michigan State could give us a game that not a lot of other 3 or 4 seeds could. Like you look at Nebraska, they got absolutely waxed by UCLA last night. I stayed up late, so I might be a little groggy this morning. I'm sorry. I didn't watch the whole game, fortunately, because UCLA made it easy for me because Nebraska was just not in that game at all. They shot 5 for 24 from 3. And so they're one of those teams that I've talked about on this show before, where when those threes don't go in, man, it's just there's nothing they can do. They scored 52 points. And so you look at the teams on that line with the Final Four potential. Arkansas, get out of here. Vanderbilt, get out of here. Louisville, come on. What are we doing? Virginia, like just come on. Tennessee, Rick Barnes in the tournament. Just get the White Walker out of here. Don't like it. St. John's, but Michigan State is the one. And I do have to apologize. I've talked about Iowa State. I was banging the table about Iowa State. They proved me wrong. I am sorry. Iowa State looks like they're going to do what they do every year. They're going to lose in the round of 32 or the Sweet 16 again. Gonzaga, get it out of here.
Gonzaga's highly overrated there. That is going to be an early upset for me. In my bracket, I saw them lose the other night after we played. They're just, I'm not sold on Gonzaga this year.
Yeah. Any of those teams along that like quadrilateral line, that aside from Michigan State, I would say bet against them heavily in the round of 32. Should they win their first round game, put your house on, not don't put your house on it, but bet on them, bet against them heavily. Whoever they're playing, especially if you see like a Vanderbilt or a Nebraska playing a team that's big and physical and can rebound, hammer it. Hammer it, hammer it, hammer it. That's my advice. That's John's gambling corner. There you go. Because there are going to be some upsets in that round of 32.
We need John for the first round of March. John, you got to
I'm
get
saying,
off.
I'm coming. I'm going to be there. Pause.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
we gotta put some legs together. Cody, are you gonna get in on the action with this, bub? On the betting?
Oh,
usually
for
you
sure. Always.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You're gonna throw some legs together?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
all roads for another banner goes through Gainesville. So there's going to be some obviously orange and blue Kool-Aid flowing through these veins. But I think again when that game last night shows you that Florida is one of the best teams in the nation. Mississippi State tried to mix it up early in the first half. They tried to basically beat us with their speed and moving the ball around. They did a pretty good job for a little bit, but I mean, even with our best player out and we got some young guys in there, we just still outclassed them. Like the game, we can do everything. Like you want to slow it down and make it a rock fight. We can do that. If you want to go warp speed, like Mississippi State tried to do early in the first half, we can do that. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What I like about it right now too is not only is the team just firing all cylinders, where you've got just key components, key players shooting at a 40% clip from 3-point range now. I'd argue you have. I mean, I'm probably biased here, but if not the best, one of the top 3 best head coaches in college basketball, and
easily.
Yeah. And for me, like watching again, you think about going to football. What's made Georgia so good is having Kirby on that sideline, the ability to adjust. That's Todd Golden in basketball right now. His ability to adjust in game and throw things at you. To be quite honest with you, look, Walter Clayton played unconscious last year, but the adjustments that Todd had to make playing against the likes of the UConns and the Texas Techs of the world, they needed a hope and a prayer for a lot of those games. But in that Houston game, man, like Todd was in his bag trying to navigate through how they play basketball. That is what excites me heading into this tournament, is not only is this thing flowing. And what's weird is that I remember we watched the very first stream, I think it was against Arizona, and this team was like the Gators were clicking. I was like, holy shit, this team is going to be nasty, because it was flowing. And all of a sudden something broke in the middle of that game, and we were like broken for like a month and a half. And I was like, what is going on here? Like I said, listen, I gave Lee, I said, send Lee back to Ivy League, and I was ready to get rid of Boogie Flame. Like I'm not shy about it. And I see people like, oh, we got to apologize. Hell no. Bullying works. I'm glad I said what I said. I bullied Boogie. He cut his hair the next day, and he's been balling ever since. So you're welcome. I should get credit for what for my words of displeasure. I still think Lee should be rocking the 99 jersey, but that's besides the point. But yeah, like they showed kind of quick flashes early on, and then yeah, it kind of fell apart. But now here they are. They have shown flashes. They've shown consistency, and then of course you got your boy TG running the helm, which very excites me. What's this crazy ass graph, John?
So this is the trapezoid of excellence. I think it's been pretty much dead on for the last like 10 or 15 national titles. They come from one of those teams in that trapezoid of excellence. So it's the Ken Pom adjusted tempo versus the Ken Pom net rating. And as you can see, it's literally us and Arizona and Michigan in that one because of the tempo that they run. Dusty May, he likes to get out fun and gun, even though he has a bigger team. And in my opinion, they still have the best player in college basketball. Like, he might not be the best draft prospect, but I think he is the best player I've watched personally in Yaxel Landeborg. And I think that's where Michigan, like, the other two graphs, they didn't look as heavy. But like, for me, it's the eye test with Michigan. Like, I watch them play, and they're dogs, man. And they're a team that I think we could beat them, but I very much think they could beat us as well. And also, I did want to give a shout out. We were talking about Georgia there for a second. Mike White finally delivered an SEC title to the University of Florida. So credit to Mike White. They beat Alabama last night. And so we were no longer the co-champions because Alabama, who I've talked about this year as being a box of chocolates team, they beat Tennessee on the road on Saturday. And then, Nate Oates, I mean, like, I think Nate Oates is a very fun coach to watch, but I imagine if you were an Alabama basketball fan, which I don't know how many of those there actually are, I think most of them are just kind of waiting outside of Kalen DeBoer's house with pitchforks. But I think that like, he's just one of those coaches where when his style works, it's great. And when he doesn't really adapt well, like you see with Todd. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is Todd Golden, neither of these two teams are necessarily what he wants to run. If you look back at where he was coaching at San Francisco, he wanted to run like a Nate Oates style offense where it's like 4 or 5 out, shooting the ball a lot, but just playing better defense. And his adaptability, I think, is what to me makes him probably the second best coach in college basketball right now. Dan Hurley, to me, is the best coach. That's just full stop. You could go back and maybe do like a Bill Self Calipari, but it's not 2008 anymore, guys. It's not 2012. This is 2026. In today's game, Todd Golden, in my opinion, is the second best coach. People will talk about John Shire at Duke, but I mean, dude, I could be the basketball coach at Duke and the record would be not very different. If you give me Cameron Boozer and like 7 first-round draft picks, I guarantee you I could get you to the Final Four. And I'm not saying I know the schematics of basketball even that well, but John Shire, it's that classic. He was born on third base, and everybody thinks he hit a triple, and it pisses me off. I saw them comparing him to Brad Stevens' run at Butler, and what Brad Stevens did at Butler will never be seen again. Going to back-to-back national titles from the fucking Horizon League. Come on, like, get it out of here. John Shire, like, yes, he's a good coach, but
Brad Stevens is like a low-key animal.
Butler's a small school with it's private and it's very hard to get in also.
Yeah, and Butler is a good, like, he's turned that school into, I mean,
just
obviously
right
now, they're not a basketball, like, they're not a basketball powerhouse like they were for many years, but I mean, you could point to Brad Stevens being the only reason that they were there in the first place. And I saw something talking about, like, because Brad Stevens and John Shire, they had like very similar records, but winning 117 games in your first however many seasons at Butler is infinitely more impressive than anything you could ever do at Duke in my eyes. And I just think with the resources that Duke has, literally anyone could coach this team to at least an Elite Eight or Final Four, in my opinion. Maybe I'm bitter. Maybe I just hate Duke. Who knows? But I just think that, like, John Shire, he's doing what he should do. And he's letting Cam Boozer play very well. Cam Boozer's another one of those players. I would say he's the second best player I've seen in basketball this year. Not the most electric. That's still DeBonsa from BYU, but they've been in a free fall, so I'm not even worried about them as a team. But DeBonsa is one of those guys that, like, if you're an NBA, GM, you have to draft that guy. And so, like, looking at this, though, I mean, I think Florida, you look at all three graphs and the fact that us and Arizona and Duke and Michigan, like, I think that just bodes well for what I was talking about with the futures. Like, I think one of those 4 teams it has to be. And UConn's the odd man out, where Dan Hurley gets in March. He's got that dog in him. He's a psychopath. So I think that UConn is kind of the wild card in there. But if it comes from anyone outside of those 5, I would be shocked. And you see Michigan State kind of teetering on that trapezoid of excellence as well. I think that they're in really good form right now. And Izzo as well is a coach that adapts very well, and he gets the most out of his players.
Brad Stevens always been an interesting one to me, because I mean, I kind of grown up with him. Like, I know, kind of quick little side story, but like watching him be a coach at Butler, obviously a very young coach at Butler 20 years ago, and then goes to the Celtics, has a very successful career. I don't think he ever won a championship, but got pretty damn close at playing at Boston, and then became the president of the Celtics, has won a championship since becoming a president. And obviously, I mean, has had Boston operate at a high level since he's became the president of the Boston Celtics, or executive, or whatever the hell he is. So kind of a cool little story, like just thinking of where he was at Butler as a successful head coach. It has become one of, I mean, it's just a streamlined of success. Like, it wasn't like it was a one and done kind of thing. Like, the guy knows ball. And
Yeah.
look, I think that's where people get fearful of Todd. Like, could he become that same thing? I think coaching at UF versus Butler is very different, but I think that's where the concern starts to come in, because Todd is one of those young up and comers.
It's just about money. Just got back the Brinks truck up.
Yeah, and I think Todd could go to the NBA probably. Like, I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays at Florida and wins many more national titles. But the thing is, I think if Todd wins like 1 or 2 more national titles, there's going to be somebody's going to be knocking on his door. And if it's a good situation, like if like the Lakers come to him and are like, "Hey, we have Luka, can you win us a title?" It's hard to say no to that. But I will say there's an ego thing with college basketball coaches. You see it with Dan Hurley. The Lakers offered him a just dump truckload of money. But with college coaches, they have a little bit more ego than the NBA, because in the NBA, you're never the star. The coaches, like I could name, like I watch the NBA pretty regularly. I couldn't name half the coaches in the NBA because they're interchangeable. When you look at UConn, it's like, yeah, Caravan's a great player. You had Klingon, you had Stephon Castle. You have all these players that were very good, but Dan Hurley is the star. He's the focal point, and I think he's good in that regard, where he shirks all of that responsibility off of his players. They don't have to worry about the media attention because he's a lightning rod. And I think Todd is very similar in that way. So I think if anything saves us from Todd going to the NBA, it could be the fact that he is the star at the University of Florida. The players will come and go, but Todd Golden is that lightning rod. And you need that in college basketball. Izzo's done it for years. Calipari did it for years. Yeah. It shelters the younger players and lets them be who they want to be. And you don't have to worry about the media getting all up in your business like you do in the NBA.
Well, you think about, again, when I see Michigan State on your March Madness bracket, you think, okay, Izzo's here. And when you would see Kentucky, you're like, oh, Calipari's here.
Well, and here's another point. Where else are you going to get an environment like what you had last night when that walk on hit that three? Like that place erupted.
Oh, it was incredible.
The NBA,
like what do we? I mean, you're playing. The NBA tickets are usually $5 and a free hot dog nowadays. I mean, the viewing is terrible. The stands are never full. Like let's be honest. If it wasn't for fat TV deals, Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, that they wouldn't even be in the black as a company. Like what? Like no, truthfully.
Lest we forget China and like the international game carries the NBA. Technically, it's technically the most valuable professional sports league in the world, but that's because of all the people that watch it. Like all of the like non-Americans. Like I will say, like it's not like the NFL where like every day you don't go to the water cooler and be like, "Hey man, did you see the Nuggets play the Cavs last night?" Like that doesn't happen in America anymore. It's not the same way that it was. I will say I still think the NBA playoffs are better than the NFL playoffs. That might be my hot take, but the regular season can be rough to watch because it's 82 games. It's a lot. And you can tell a lot of times the players don't care. And so but the NBA, I will say fair play to Adam Silver. He saw it coming from a mile away and he was like, China, like I lived in China for 16 months and Chinese people love the NBA, dude. James Harden was on Subway ads when I was over there. Like you're in the metro, James Harden's face is everywhere. And so I think that they did a great job of branding internationally. And so I think they're kind of like at the point where like, if you don't want to watch us in America, we don't care. We've got kids in Serbia watching us at 3 a.m. paying money to watch that game. So I do think that the NBA product is not as good in the regular season now, but in the playoffs, when they turn it on, there are a few things better to watch in sports.
I think there's just a lack of connection for I think part of where it comes to it as well. Like it just doesn't have that aura that it once did. There isn't. I mean, there's a factor of they talk about all the time like who's the next superstar. Like nobody's really taking the reins from it. And I think that's the guys that try to build around like Morant and things. It's that obviously they have their off the court issues, but yeah, the global aspect of it. But I do want to talk about this before you go real quick, John. Is there a world this team runs through, gets it done? Big three come back?
You mean Chinyalu,
Condon, and Hauck?
I think
if you're tough because he's a top 10 pick.
Hauck I think is probably gone, especially if they win back to back. Like I don't think I think Condon would be the only one that might stay to maybe develop his offensive game a little bit more. If someone's in his ear, like, hey, you come back, you dominate and get better offensively, shoot that three in the off season and get more, a complete package. Because Condon is one of the best defenders in college basketball as well right now. He just gets overshadowed because he plays in a front court with the best defensive player in college basketball. But I think if you're Chinyalu, I can't see like the strides he's made this year. I think he'll be a lottery pick, first round pick this year. I don't see him staying, especially because he is a little bit older. I think he's almost 21, 22. And in the NBA, that's almost an old man when they're drafting you. So I think Chinyalu is probably gone. Hauck, I think you got to capitalize, especially if you win, you get player of the tournament or whatever. But Condon, I think, would be the only one I could see coming back from that group.
It would be nice though if they're on that parade and
one could wish
they come on that stage for the celebration at halftime during spring game and we're back.
That was
Oh, my
electric.
God.
I was there for the first one when Horford and those guys announced it. I was at that spring game, and as a I think I was 12 at the time, and that was one of the more electric moments of my young sports life.
I mean, minus obviously the injury question of playing another season. I mean, does it really hurt yourself to go try to win 3 national championships and 3 like that's? I feel like
You
that
don't lose
is
it on that
something.
guaranteed money, right? Like you've seen it happen. Again, if you're a lottery pick, if you're Thomas Houck, you would be an idiot to come back.
How much is a lottery pick getting?
Dude, the NBA money is stupid, man. Like you want to talk about like Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the league. He's making what an 8th guy off the bench in the NBA is making.
Okay.
Like NBA contracts are obscene. Like you have, I think there's like every single player, every single team has like a supermax guy who's making 50 mil plus. But you have guys like I think one of the best offensive tackles, like Lane Johnson, is making less than Jonathan Isaac is making on the Magic, and Jonathan Isaac averages 3 points and 3 rebounds a game. So like it's like you have players who you could not recognize, like aside from on the street, you'll see them and be like, wow, that guy's tall, but you have no idea who the hell he is. And the NBA money is just stupid, and it talks.
I mean, could you get close? Could you get close? Like could you pull all the stops and ask Jordan to, look, we're about to win another natty here. If we sign these 3, like we got to dump the money in. Like
I wish, but I think
got
Houck couldn't do it.
11.5 in 1 year.
11.5.
11.5.
Dude, I think that's doable.
I wish if Florida gets the NIL money, dude, like
it's 1 year. It's just 1 year.
You're gonna have 3 of them.
Well, not obviously Thomas Houck's gonna make the most.
Okay, so you're gonna pay Thomas Houck 7. You're gonna pay Ruben
for another
8,
for a
5.
three-peat national. How many teams have ever three-peated?
You need to go to bed, bro.
How many teams? How many teams have three-peated?
Pull that. Yeah, you Anthony Pons in disguise.
You just made a video. Hey, you just made a video about how there's unlimited money.
You gotta understand.
We don't have it.
Well, we could get it. We just gotta negotiate.
Everyone is not us. We're Gator fans through and through. We bleed it. Chinyelu, I mean, he probably loves the University of Florida now, but it's different. Like he's been here for 2 years. He's done great. He's won a natty, might win a second one. But him, like, I think winning a national title was never like when he was growing up in Nigeria and going through all of this camp, like the NBA is the goal. And Condon, same way, grew up in Australia. I'm sure he didn't even really know about Florida before he started going to school here. So I think it's the connection that, like, Houck grew up a Gator fan. So Houck, I think, could be one that would stick. But the other two, I don't know how you would pass up NBA.
It's only been done one time.
Yeah.
UCLA.
I think it would be awesome. I want them to stay, but I'm just saying I don't think that I would. If I were them, I wouldn't stay.
Listen, if you don't throw it out there, listen, guys, listen. If you don't throw the dart out there, it will never strike the bullseye. Okay, I'm throwing it out in the ether.
Hold on, I threw the dart. That's not the problem. Is you throw the dart. It's like you're like trying to make it make sense. You're like, oh yeah, we got 11 million to hand out to each player. Like,
no,
what?
Each player's not getting 11. Houck is the best player.
Sorry, we draw the line at 5. John, I know you got to go, man. I appreciate you. We'll bicker about this for the next 20 minutes, but great conversation. We'll see you. We got Saturday, Kentucky. We'll be in touch.
Yep. All right, sounds good. Love you guys. See you guys soon.
See ya.
See you guys.
Be good, man. What is wrong with you this one?
What do you mean?
You're just off your rocker, bro.
No, I'm not. It's a three-peat, dog. A three-peat.
We were about to throw hands with Boogie Lee or Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan because we gave them $2 million each.
Or if you're German, this way, 3.
$2 million each.
Listen, if you're out there chasing something that has only been done once, one time, just one time.
Yeah, but that's you. So again, I agree with you from a fanatical standpoint. What the hell does Tom Houck and Chinyelu and Condon give a damn about that? They're gonna go back to back.
It's legacy.
It's
a legacy.
You mean that if they go back to back, that their legacy is gonna be tainted? Their legacy
it's not gonna be tainted. But hey, three-peat sounds really cool.
Yeah, it
The
sounds
three-time
cool.
national champion.
It
Dude,
also,
they'd be
it's only
even
happened
even
once
if they
for a reason.
bust out of the NBA, that like it doesn't work for some weird reason. You will be a legend in Gainesville. You will. They
They
will
already
roll
are.
the.
They already are.
Yeah, but a three-peat, dog. A three-peat. That's
Just
something
because you
that's
keep saying it doesn't
Florida's
make it more
never.
valuable.
It sounds better every time I say
If
it.
they repeat, they would be in the same category.
I don't think so.
If they
Not a
if
three-peat.
they repeat all your,
Oh, it's gonna be tremendous. It's gonna be dog. It's gonna be
clearly,
tremendous.
clearly it's not. This is where we get labeled as toxic because you're like, yeah, but they could have three-peated. Selfish assholes.
No, I'm not being. No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
you win it this year, and listen, it's a money game.
No, don't turn this on me, okay?
Turn it on him.
The idea.
Turn it on him.
I mentioned the three-peat. I mentioned the three-peat.
You would lead back at the Ivy League.
Yeah, I know. I said that. I'm okay with it. I'll die on that hill. Listen, I don't takes live. I get it. This whole idea that like people don't have bad takes. I'm not afraid to say how I feel and then deal with it. Okay. I've had. Here's the other thing. I've been overly positive, and then when I'm wrong, I get shitted on. I'm gonna get flack regardless of whatever I say. Okay.
Three-peat be hitting different, dog. In the wise.
Indifferent.
Hey,
know. I
Lil
brought
Wayne's-
it up.
Listen, Adam Sandler. Lil Wayne made a song about three-peating. Okay.
I brought it up. I started the I'm aware. I am aware. But what John was saying is how do you hair in my mouth? How do you retain those guys is the factor. And that's where I was like, oh, well, that's If Thomas Houck's gonna get a 10th pick's only $5 million. And that's probably where Houck.
Hey! Spit on me, Daddy. Only $5 mil?
I don't. What do you think this roster's worth now?
Dude, just pay all three of them $5 mil a pop. That's 15 mil. You can get that from Nike, from Jordan. Hey, listen, Jordan loves to win. Okay, Jumpman. He's winning in NASCAR, dominating in NASCAR. He's won some MotoGP events. Why not a three-peat national title? Come on.
Well, I mean, he's got a lot of Jordan schools. It's not like we're the only Jordan school, but
no, we are the Jordan school. We're the one. We're number one.
Is my final offer. We got to repeat first, though. I think that might be the first step. We're putting the cart.
Yeah, we're starting to count. We're starting to count the chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, big time. Wow, that we're in a full blown panic attack here about a situation that may not even may even happen.
Let's get laser back focus. Listen, we gotta get the deal done today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's only $5 mil, dog, like whoop. I don't know. I don't got that much in gold and silver, but I would sell it all for a three-peat.
Holy, it's only $5 mil. Yeah, let's go put a $20 million basketball roster together. We're scraping pennies to put a $20 million football roster, but basketball.
Yeah, well, they can wait for a second.
They can wait. Football on hold. You gonna put John Summer and the boys on hold?
No, never. Swimming though, maybe.
I think it was just the fact that you were just like, we can afford that. We can handle that. It's only $5 million per player.
Every time a national championship rolls in, it brings a monstrous amount of money for the University of Florida.
That is true. Who knows
what
follows after if you do go back to back? What you could do? I think that you have to really, if you are like John kind of nailed it on the head. If you are Ruben Chinyelu, you went back to back. The goal was the NBA. Like there's literally nothing left that you feel like you need to accomplish.
Hey.
Like a three-peat, you're chasing an ego at that point. That's what I'm saying. And us fans want that. We have a different prerogative. That's all that I'm saying. So that's why I brought it up, because of course, selfishly, we would want to go after it and go do it. But as an individual, if this was Milan, and Milan is Alex Condon or Thomas Howe, if your son is Thomas Howe, you're telling him to go to the NBA. Don't look at me and tell me you're not. You're telling him to go to the NBA.
Is he playing at the University of Florida? And he has a chance to three-peat and do something that the university has never done.
Let's do Ruben Chinyelu, and he's playing at the University of UConn. And you're a Gator fan because Ruben Chinyelu is not a Gator. Like outside before prior.
I don't. That doesn't bother me. Like whatever you want to do. But listen,
You're telling him to go.
Here's the thing. This is what you do.
You're telling him to go pro.
This is what you do. If I'm his agent, yeah, I'm telling him to go pro. This is what you do. As soon as they hoist the national championship banner and bring it back to Gainesville, you roll out a full-fledged like media propaganda, bam, 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 right in your face. Florida victorious. Donate now. Three-peat. The boys are coming back. And you slam that thing home,
yeah,
and
100%.
until you get enough donations. You go flip over everybody that even enrolled to UF. Who gives a shit if they even made it, if they got a degree? Listen, if you got the address from their prior address 10 years ago, you're sending Florida victorious flyers. Like, it's going to be, like, listen, if I was running it,
they spent $1 million in marketing. What you're telling me.
It would be like the people that call you for your extended warranty. Like, that's how nasty I'm getting. I'm calling you like the extended warranty people. Hello, have you donated to Florida victorious? We're trying to
and then watch all those guys
basketball.
leave. Everyone's calling back to get their refunds.
Just say
you'd be one of them calling back to get your refund too.
Full on propaganda.
Look, I don't think my thing is my point of the money. I don't think the money would be a factor. I think it's the security of like, hey, if I go pro now, I'm gonna make 10. I'm guaranteed $5 to $6 million a year for the next 4 years. So I'm not signing a $5 million contract.
I think a younger guy, yes, but when you get old, you only have one thing left. You have one thing in life. You know what that is?
I agree. I think that's a good
your
angle.
legacy.
If somebody can come speak to them and say, hey, money is great. You're going to have plenty of time to make it. If you're able to go and do this will live forever. And back-to-back's great, but we have something special here. And you're still going to be compensated. You'll be just fine.
Yep.
Look, I think there is the risk factor where you have to take into consideration of like the injury factor of like you could have a career-ending injury and never have that opportunity to go. Now, here's the other crazy part, right? The difference is that like if he does make, I mean, he's probably made a couple million now. If he does make $5 million, like they're still making pretty damn like less life-changing money. It's just
it's life-changing.
It
like,
may not be generational.
Well,
yeah, it's not like they're walking away poor by any.
Your kids your kids might have to. Well, you're still gonna get deals afterwards, and you're still gonna go to the NBA. What your grandkids may not have the money. Who cares by then?
You're right. Screw those kids' futures. Three-peat boys. Juju the Guru. Good morning, boys. Put the stories of how fun. Shout out Dylan All. He's a real one. It's a great day to have a great day. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Juju the Guru. Yeah, we had our guy Dylan All on yesterday. We talked about little spring ball, boys. The boys were busting uglies yesterday. It was a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement. Yep. Tramel Jones turning some heads, Cody.
I know that Rusty Witt, and I listened to every interview yesterday.
Okay,
every interview.
Spit on me.
I listened to the Rusty Witt interview twice.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this program wasn't so far away. Obviously, Rusty said the nutrition was very well, like ran very well. That's why we kept him.
Yeah, that guy. When they brought that guy in, that was a big time move. He was in the NFL. Like that was like the only hire I felt like Billy did a good job of outside of Chapman. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell you, the steel don't lie. Okay, the steel don't lie. And when you ain't moving that steel at a SEC All-American level, it don't matter how many protein shakes you consume. It don't matter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about bodybuilders like, oh, they're only big because of the steroids. Like, at that point, the steroids are a recovery tool. Like, they're big because they're in the gym 6-7 hours a day. Okay?
Amen.
It's the work. It's the grind. It's moving that steel. And knowing that you're leaving it all out there. Witt said they came in lackadaisical. They should fear the weight room. I think they're starting to fear it now. Like I'm fearing that speed training on Saturday morning. They are moving big time weight again. Or they've made leaps and bounds. I think we're on the right track. We got the right guy.
So they weren't fearing it, huh? They were just showing up thinking they were hot shit.
Hey, he said a lot of them were in the gray trying to just go through the motions. And that shit wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Yep. Hiding out.
I want you to cry after this.
Yeah. Hiding out.
Yeah, no, I look, we talked about it a little bit with Dylan All yesterday. We could talk about it. I haven't had a chance to watch Rusty Witt. I'll watch it today. we've got a show later on tonight. Of course, it's the best day of the week. Cam Parker will be joining us today to give us his perspective. I talked to him yesterday a little bit. He obviously feels really good of what he's seen. Again, there's a lot of optimism in the air. So, and we get labeled as Disney Gators. We get labeled as all these things, and I'm aware of how we get labeled, and I couldn't be more proud of how we get, labeled in that. Sometimes we get labeled as loudmouth jerk, was how I was referred to as a couple days ago. But it's hard not to be excited. Again, I think the biggest factor is because it is a complete 180 from what it was. So, look, I think fans, if the product doesn't turn out like we've had the last couple of years, there's going to be frustration. People are like, I told you shouldn't have lied. I told you shouldn't have done this. It's going to be hard not to have optimism just because it feels so different. But with the way it is, what I found yesterday with John Summerall, he spoke to the injury report. He mentioned like, hey, I'm going to tell you guys, I know you guys aren't used to that. And then he mentioned something else kind of under his breath of like, I don't want to throw the old team under or the old regime under the bus, but this team's not used to what we're doing.
Yep.
He's made a couple subtle jabs, and I don't think he's intentionally trying to, necessarily shit on the old regime. But I think at some point when you just keep coming across little humps in the road, and it's like, how you're probably thinking, how in the hell am I at Tulane? And I got this guy running this organization for 4 years, and I know better. And he's probably thinking like, I don't think I should know everything. And I'm walking in here and I am just disgusted with how this was ran. And I'm frustrated. And it's not, I don't think it's even making an excuse thing, because like it is what it is. Like I have to deal with it. It doesn't really matter if I complain about it or not.
Yep.
But I'm going to be honest with you. It sucks right now. It's not where it needs to be. And the amount of frustration that we're getting, again, which is refreshing as well too. Like I would say we complained more for Billy or defended Billy more of like, well, Billy didn't have his guys and Billy's got to deal with the leftovers from Mullen. Like we never heard anybody really talk about that. John's telling us like, yeah, the leftovers is the mentality that I have to fix. The bodies are fine. People are fine. And I think that was probably the other factor we always would kind of brush off of like, oh, well, he had to deal with this, this, and this. And it's like, if you're a dog, you can come in and turn anybody's, mentality upside down. They're all 4-star athletes.
They're all athletes.
To wrap them up.
Yeah. The genetics are there. Listen, when you're breeding game pit bulls, you can stack the genetics however you want. But some of those pit bulls get called because they won't work. They're timid. They don't want to go after game like boar dogs, like wild boar dogs. A lot of pit bulls are used for that. Like they're gun shy. It's one of those things where some of them just have it in them and some of them don't. And listen, news shock, there's going to be some guys leaving next year. And it might shake some people.
I don't think that's a shock, Cody.
But if
I think we live in that world,
it's because they may have the genetics, they may have what looks like the body, but they don't have it up here. And if you don't have it up here, you ain't making it very far.
I feel like what it feels like right now, it's like last year we had, like, you go to a car show and you see all the Porsches and Lambos all parked outside, and it's like, this looks sick. It's like, I bet this thing goes fast. And it goes like, yeah, it does. It does. Like, you just walk around and you touch it and you look at it, right? But when it comes down to it and it has to go on the racetrack, it just doesn't have the handling like it needs to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This year's team, it's more like a NASCAR, all right? It still has the horsepower, it still has the engine, but it's built to go 200 miles an hour on Talladega like a bald eagle, all right? And it's going to send her into turn one. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference in my opinion. Like, it may not be as shiny looking, right? I don't want it to be shiny looking. I need this thing to be an absolute animal. And that was the difference. Like, it just, like, again, the complacency of going through the motions of like, oh, I'm doing this right. I'm working out. I've got all these cute weights, and look how shiny it is in here, and look how good it looks for camera.
But
and
you don't. But that's not the kids' fault.
Instagram. It was all Instagram muscles last year. That's what it was.
But it's not the kids' fault. They don't know what they don't know.
No, not the kids. No, they're doing what they're told. There's nobody pushing you. You're like you said it right. You've been working out. You thought you were doing what was right. Like, you don't know any better. You're not a workout guru. And then you go to your speed trainer and he's like, you're a bitch, Cody. And you're like, what? I've been working out for 3 months. It's like, suck up more. And you're like, what? Like, that's basically what's happening. These guys have been going through the motions thinking like, yeah, I'm killing it. And you are. Like, you're losing weight. You're feeling good. But you want to go beat sub 5. You want to go win a national championship. You're not even sniffing it, bro.
No.
You ain't even close, dog. And it's disrespectful. Honestly, you probably a little bit of a rude awakening. Disrespectful to think that you can go and do that by just going through the motions. You're disrespecting the game when you do that. So that's kind of what we found out. We keep continuously to find out, and just the way that Summerall navigates the practice field was different. Again, the 40 minutes. So I kind of spoke to both the guys. There's part of that's aesthetics, right, where they're just kind of warming up. So it's not like it's a full 40 minutes of practice.
Yeah.
But either way, even like Dylan was like, it was still great because last year he was like, bro, there was like 3 practices. Like I didn't even know what I was doing because it's like a fire drill the moment it starts. 40 minutes, you can kind of like, all right, where am I going to be? Where am I going to go?
Yeah.
Get my bearings amongst me. Like, let me go take some videos of this guy, like size, all those things.
Here's another thing too. When it comes down to the gauntlet training, so he broke that down. Rusty Witt did on exactly what it was.
So even more than what John's been doing, because John's talked about it like 3 times now. Like I'm pretty.
No, he gave the entire breakdown.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so and it makes sense because when I was in the Marine Corps, they would throttle us. They would absolutely throttle us, and then they would make us like they would question us like with like Marine Corps knowledge, like who was the first commandant of the Marine Corps, and then you would have to spill it out. Well, you're getting heart rates up, you're getting you're just trying to survive, okay? And then all of a sudden you got to spit out this answer. Heaven forbid it's wrong. So that's what they're doing in the gauntlet. When it had nothing to do with weights. It was just getting the heart rate up, getting the and then making those guys make decisions on the fly and making sure that they're doing the right thing. Make sure if it was a right foot lead first, that everybody had their right foot lead, right? And
you want to again, and John said it. You want to.
My old wrestling coach used to do this all the time to us. We used to go live wrestling 40 minutes, and every now and then he'd walk by and ask you a math question, like 6 + 6. Dude, you ain't worried about 6 + 6. You couldn't figure it out if you wanted to.
But what that's doing there is it's making sure that you're still locked in and not going through the motions. The brain's still working, not just I'm moving muscle.
And under fire, you can still think.
Yeah, because
you're not just swinging and missing.
You have to know because you have to know. Hey, it's 3rd and 2. I've got so and so over here. I can't make a false start. We've got to get 5 yards on this play. If he makes a first down, we're all moving together. Like everybody has to know, and that's when we're watching the game. Right, and it makes sense now, and you're like, why? Where is the lack of urgency? Because ain't nobody got a clue what down it is. Nobody knows what's going on because you're just going through the motions at that point. The complacency is starting to set in, and what we would see in the last 3 minutes or third and 4th quarter was that's your training. That's what you were working on. That's who you really are. I don't give a damn what you do in the first quarter. That's why you play 4 quarters. That's why like all sports are longevity because everybody can come out there and be a hero for 5 minutes. That's easy. It's who's going to be the hero in the last 5 minutes, and that's what they're trying to tap into. That's the psycho part that they're trying to figure out. So yeah, when you are going around and trying to tap into that
how many times have we in the 4th quarter we try to go on 2 and we can't go on 2? Now something very early in the 1st quarter when you're not absolutely throttled, you can go on 2 all day.
Fresh.
Like
so
4th quarter.
Played golf
game-winning drive. You got to go on 2, try to get a free false start. Why not? Like, but we could never do that under the Billy regime because they weren't getting tested like this. I'm telling you.
When I in high school in golf, we dominated the regular season, and then the playoffs would come and we would suck. And you're like, why would you suck in the playoffs? Well, you dominate all regular season because golf's golf. It's not like you're playing in a different environment. Golf courses weren't really like you didn't play harder courses. Like that didn't change. What changed was regular season only 9 holes, playoffs 18 holes, and everybody's pretty good with 9 holes because your stamina's up, your mental fatigue is fine. Like you are sharp. When you start and things can collapse pretty quickly, and then you're starting to think about 9 holes when you're in hole 7. It weighs on you because I got a long way to go. Early on, you're like, I got a long way to go, but it starts to eat at you. And we just never, for whatever reason, did not do. And then like the last year, we like walked more, but it was a mental thing that we never were able. And I struggle with it to this day. Like I will put so much effort into that front nine of playing well, and then you kind of almost get like locked into this motion in the back nine, and it's hard for you to pull out of it. I can pull myself out of like yesterday. I played. I went on 2 bogey streaks, and I was like, all right, I gotta get off this bogey train. Literally birdie the next hole on the front nine, and then I went on like a 8 par streak in a row, and then on the last 3 holes, I was starting to feel it. I was like, I'm cooked. It's getting windy. Holes are looking longer. I'm over swinging. And I went bogey, bogey, bogey. I couldn't get out of it. I was in a rut, and I was like, if I would have hit that earlier, I would have been cooked. And that's just kind of what it boils down to. It's like it's that mental fatigue that
It's hard to get off that bogey train too, because you start questioning everything, and really you just need to go back to your basics. You start moving around. You start, it keeps going a little more right. Then you aim more left, and then it just goes even more right, and next thing you know, you've lost all forms of golf, keeping that left arm straight, keeping a steady backswing, not getting too deep in your backswing, losing confidence, and then heaven forbid you get the yips. Don't even talk about the yips.
Yeah, when I hit the first 2 bogeys, like I didn't feel like they were bad bogeys. Like I was hitting the ball well. I felt confidence. I was like, all right, let's just shake it off. Like no big deal. You got a par 5 coming up. You can get after it. And that's just what I did. I hit 2 big 3 woods, and then I almost chipped in, hit the pin for eagle. The boys went nuts, and then I tapped her in for a little chirp, 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 chirp. But yeah, you're not breaking 80. I was pretty dialed in yesterday. I shot a 77. All right, I was cooking for the boys because I was 3 over. I was 3 over in the front, and then I birdied, so I finished 2 over. And then no joke, I was on a par train. And then I bogeyed the last 3 holes because, bro, I got hit with a 430-yard par 4, a 190-yard par 3 into the wind, and then a 420-yard par 4 to end it. And I was like, I was like, just gauntlet, brutal,
gasping for air at the end.
Yeah, you lose a little. I was hands were a little shaky. Fairway looked a little bit thinner. All right, I was like, this is. I was getting tired too. Transfusions were hitting. That's what it was too. But it was good. It was a good time. It was a beautiful course. Had an absolute blast. Blast.
No chance I shoot 80 in a year?
I mean, just for the fact that because I don't think you're pulling yourself out of it. Like if that course had some holes.
You don't think I'm carrying the boat?
I've been playing forever, and I was grinding there. Like I was playing probably one of the best rounds I played in a very long time, and I just beat it by 3.
Just saying. I'm a little bit of a psycho. Sometimes you got to carry the boats.
I think what's going to kill you is the distance is what's going to catch up to you. I don't like if you come across a stretch like that. It was called Grumpy's Gauntlet, and it was I parred the first.
Nicknamed after me.
Yeah, I parred the first 2, so it was a 420. So hear this. I hit the first par 4. I hit driver, and then I was 200 uphill in the wind. I hit 5 iron. I hit my 5 iron like 215. Hit it.
Nick, I shot a 94 the last time I went and played.
Yeah, 14 strokes is a lot, bro.
Yeah, no, he's saying I'd be lucky to even hit 100.
No, you can break.
I just
100.
Yeah, I just shot a 94 last time I played.
He's got a great swing. He can break 100. And the next hole was like a 5.
Bro, these guys, these guys. It's not like. Listen, it's not like I've never played before.
I think the fact of it is that like you have to be like I don't think you realize how dialed in you have to be. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like it's
hard. It's hard like anything else in life. It's about stop being a dreamer and start being a doer. Sometimes you got to stop being a dreamer and start being the doer.
Do I think you can do it eventually? Yeah, I don't think you're doing it in a year.
We're gonna give it the old college try though.
I love it. I mean, we gotta get past this 40 thing first, which should be interesting.
Garrett's still out there.
How's the confidence level after yesterday though? Did we get any videos like you were supposed to?
I'm more not yesterday. I'm doing Saturday. I'm more dude. It was hectic. I'm more confident now than I've ever been.
That's not what you told me. You literally called me yesterday and didn't feel that way.
I know, but I'm thinking it over. I went to the deep water. Okay, it was just because the unknowing of when it's gonna stop. You're not allowed to have phones because they don't want you to keep track. He doesn't want you to keep track of time, so you don't know what. So it starts out. You're doing a 4-set workout series, and it's back to back to back. It's like a hit course almost. But you're doing it back to back to back to back, and each series is starts out with like 10 reps of 4 different exercises. You get through that circuit, and I thought like, so you do that circuit 4 times, and the way it was sounding, it was like, yeah, you're just doing the circuit, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So like on 4th, I'm gassed like of the first set of circuit,
And you thought it was
like
done.
on the 4th round. I thought it was done. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna look okay. And he's like, all right, number 3. I didn't realize it was 4 sets of 4 for 4 different circuits in an hour. So you got a freaking hump. Like you're moving. So every circuit, the exercises change. The amount of times go down a little bit of the reps, but the exercises change. Dude, I thought I was gonna puke. I was sucking wind. He had me on that sled. He had me with the band. I mean, I was doing things yesterday. I was like, my goodness, I might die here. Heart rate was through the roof. And he's like, you're strong. He's like, and you have good long lasting cardio. But like, yeah, you can do a Stairmaster for 40 minutes. But he's like, this is different because everything is explosion based.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought I was gonna die. I thought the heart was failure. Like I thought he's gonna have to get out the little the machine, dog.
So
like
I'm not exposing him, Q, because he called me right after.
Yeah.
This
throttled.
And he's like,
soul
I'm
was
like,
taken.
I'm literally like, how you feeling? He's like, not good. he goes, I go, what's the confidence level? He's like, not good. Not good. He's like, this is the lowest I've felt this entire time about me doing this. So the fact that you bounced back within less than 24 hours, I think is huge.
I'm with the right guy. I haven't slept. No, and I went to the gym this
you
morning.
Be able to sleep it off. You just kind of you got your energy back. You went a little bit of recovery. All right. I'm glad. No joke. I called him yesterday. Guy was ready to hang it up. He's like, I'm cooked.
Dude, I was in deep waters.
That's how you should feel.
I was so not knowing when it was gonna stop, and just like, dude, it's like a run, and you don't know when it's gonna stop because you're getting led by an instructor, like a Marine Corps run, and you just don't know when the finish line is. Like that's when they take your souls, when you think it's done, but you don't know. You don't know how far you're going.
Yeah, so during the Ironman, there's like a part, because again, when I did the Ironman, I had never done all 3 legs together.
Yeah.
And I had never swam, rode, or ran as far as I had to do that day. So you in the middle of the race, you were going to uncharted territories. I mean, think about it. By the time my swim is done, which it was like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of a swim.
Yeah.
And then the bike ride was, I think, 8 hours, 7 hours. So at that point, when I'm halfway through the bike, I'm 6 hours into this. Through my entire training, I never worked out longer than 5 hours. So for the next 6 hours, I am in unknown territory of what my body can or cannot do.
And the demons start creeping in.
Oh, and look, I mean, you have somebody there, like I'm on a bike, bro, in the middle of a highway with just like myself. I can't have music or anything. Hey, you think sauna thoughts are dark, bro?
Dude, I was in a dark place. That was the darkest place I've been since Marine Corps boot camp. Like it was that. Like let me tell you something. Don't ever take 10 years off. Don't ever leave the gym. If you're working out, if you're a young cat and you're working out, I don't care if you just go and walk and hit the sauna. Like don't ever stop, because it is, dude, it's so hard to get back.
I know Milan's been giving you flack lately. He's been, pushing back.
Yeah.
It's your fault. Because every time I tell you can't do something, you just push back even harder. So it's just, your hard-headedness is it's genetics. You know what I mean? Which is good. Look, it's positive in this regard. So
not always great, but yeah.
Go darker. Go darker. I love it. Bonafide, this has turned into low bottom of sports. Appreciate the positive feedback, big guy. Keep watching, buddy. All right. Sub 5 would be an incredible feat. I would be losing it. I'm going to lose it. We do need videos. I told him we needed to get videos.
Yeah, I can get Saturday.
It
was my first round. I wouldn't be like, hey, follow me around with this phone so you can video record me on my first day. It's definitely where I need to be though. I feel money well spent. It's definitely where I need to be.
I love it. I love it. I mean, we're getting closer. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean we are
not quite a month away.
I have the timer right here. I know
Yeah,
exactly.
37 days. I think I saw your timer on your screen.
36 days, 22 hours, 54 minutes, 18, 17, 16.
What time is that
seconds.
like set for?
That's 8 o'clock. Friday.
Well, you're not running on 8 o'clock.
Well, what time we running?
Probably like 9:15ish.
Okay, so I'm within an hour. Oh,
I'm just so you can set up when we're accurate. That's all I'm talking. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm within an hour.
Q Lee says he still got Allie though.
That's fine. You can.
I'm not worried. Honestly, I'm not worried about Allie anymore. The only thing that I think that has Cody's number right now is the clock. That's the only person that fears me. Now we're not talking some like physical specimen showing up, right? We're not racing them. But I'm not worried about Allie. I'm simply worried about the clock. That's the only person that Cody's got to be beating right now.
Yep.
I'm
That's all
pumped.
I'm focused on.
I'm so pumped.
No, you don't get a preliminary. Listen, I'm gonna run some test ones, but nobody's gonna know the times.
Oh, we're back to keeping it a secret.
I'm just gonna I'll tweet I'll tweet out a little GIF, like a little like let you know how it goes.
I feel like we should get a time. I don't feel like that's fair.
No.
As much investment we've had in
What
this,
happens what happens if I right off rip run a 4.99? That's no fun for the viewers.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Cody versus Eric. See that?
No, dog.
That's good. That's a past athlete. I'm not. That's
he went to the NFL.
And he's already ran a 4.5. Like he's already done
Yeah.
it. He's already accomplished the goal we're trying to set. Like that's not a reason.
Cody versus the clock. It doesn't matter who all the other people. I don't care about all the other people. That doesn't bother me. If someone comes out and runs a 4.4, cool. That's awesome. He's super fast.
Not running a 4.4.
But you know what I mean? I'm not tripping about that. It's me versus
we were never
that
racing.
clock.
The goal was never me versus Cody or Cody. It was Cody versus the clock. We are here to be like we have one goal in mind: beat the clock.
Beat the clock. Beat the clock. Three-peat. Well, we got a couple goals. Become the number one sports podcast in the world. Hey, just throwing darts out there, trying to hit bullseyes.
The 3-peat one, I think, is more likely to happen than that. Good morning, show.
With that attitude.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Nice and juicy. Shout out to John for our basketball talk. Almost 400 people in here with us this morning. Be good. Stay positive. Juju the Guru giving you the juice this morning, as always.
Yep.
Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys live tonight at 8:35 for the best day of the week. Smash it, like it, do all the nice stuff to it. Peace and love, baby.
It's hot top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the